that I ever been to.
Now, did you just see the fights that happened on ESPN, Leo Santa Cruz versus Montes here in the Staples Center? Did you have a chance to see those?
I was there at ringside.
So what'd you think about that fight?
In the fight, see, and that's the thing, those two guys fought. I mean, they fought from round one. I mean, they fought. You don't see fights like that today that much, you know? And I was asked, well, who's going to win the fight, you know? And my reaction was, I think the one who throws more body punches is going to win the fight. So what was happening there is Montes was throwing a lot of body shots, but a little wide. And at the same time he was doing that, Leo Santa Cruz was throwing inside shots, you know, uppercuts to his belly. You could see that, and then he would come back over the top and catch Montes with right hand. But regardless, you know, they're both great champions, and I know Montes, like him, and Leo Santa Cruz, you know, just two great warriors, and that fight's never. I mean, that fight will never ever go away. That's one of the best fights I've seen in a long time.
Yeah, and a lot of people saying that this is maybe a mix of a trilogy. You know, there might be a second fight and a third fight.
If you know, I remember back in the days when you had another good warriors from Mexico when they fought was Zamora and Carlos Zarate, and that was you know, from two Mexican fly warriors that went at it. You know, even though Zarate did won the fight, but so today, tradition today was, you know, Montes and Leo Santa Cruz. You know, Mexico versus Mexico. But they're both great champions, and they're both great fighters and good personality. You know, they're very. It's very exciting to see what we saw yesterday. It was a good fight, man, since round one to the end.
Yeah, and everybody said, you know, marveled how, you know, that's what boxing's all about.
Exactly.
You know, hyped up fight that really, you know, lived up to its name. Last question, John. To the fighters now fighting in days, what advice would you give them that, you know, you wish you would have known now or back then?
You know, fighters today, what I would have to tell them is to make sure you work hard in getting in condition. That's number one. You know, it's like being married. You be good to your wife in your relationship, and in boxing you do the same. Be great to boxing because you're the one-on-one guy, and there's no one's going to help you. And if you're not in that great condition, then, you know, you're going to end up getting beat or knocked out or hurt. And that's the whole situation today. You really got to train hard for these fights, because if you want to become a winner and a champion, that's what it takes to work very hard for that upcoming fight that you have. So even though, like we're saying, you know, it is a different era, and to think about some of these fights today, it's like the way they get paid, man. They make a lot of money, but they can't fight. There's no good fights today. And then in my time, and when we fought, we give it all hard. We went out there to fight. Like, it was a cat fight, a dog and a cat going at each other. You know, I mean, we give it our all. You know, and we trained very hard for some of these battles that we had to get ready for. And unfortunately, I am so lucky to actually get into boxing, because I always say I was an ugly kid at one time, and then boxing straightened my face out. You know, I look better now. I got a free facelift.
Yeah, exactly. Well, John, it was a pleasure meeting you. You know, I'm sure I'm going to be roaming around, and a question's going to pop up, so, you know, I'm going to come back and ask you. But I'm here at the Bobby School Butcher Cone Charity event here with John Montes.
And one more question. Me and Bobby used to spar with each other back in the 70s. And Bobby Chacon was Bobby Chacon. He knew how to throw those bombs at you, and you had to be in good shape to fight Bobby Chacon, you know. And two of my rivals was one Bobby and Danny. And when they fought, man, these guys went to town, man, nonstop action. Bobby was throwing bombs, Danny was bombing them back. You know, and then unfortunately Bobby beat Danny, and then he fought Alfredo Marcano for the World Championship featherweight fight, and I saw that fight too, and man, what a fight that was. So Bobby always had the best fights out there. Him and Bazooka Limon, you know, I mean, those are some great battles. And when he fought Bose Edwards, you know, then I fought Bose Edwards. Bose was a tough guy, man, very tough African, and he you hit that guy and that guy wouldn't budge. It's kind of scary, you know. Well, wow, what the heck, man? You hit this guy so hard and nothing's happened, you know. You hit other guys like that and they're gone. So it's sometimes you kind of like, you don't know what do I got to do here, you know. So my father was my trainer, so sometimes I would come back to the corner and I'd tell him, man, I need a cold beer. You know? He'd go, get in there, knock him out, and we'll get you all the cold beer you want. You know, yeah, it ain't that easy, you know. So you know, that's all that story goes. But I got to meet some wonderful people out there, and that's the best part of being where I was at and got to grow up in this fight game. You know, and a lot of fighters today don't have it because they don't make it. Some are great fighters, but they just can't take. A lot of people are good fighters, but they can't take the punches coming back at them, and they quit. You know. So, but you know, boxing is what it is, and hopefully that boxing can get back on track the way it used to be. Not, you know what I'm saying? So that's what the whole situation is about today. You know, it's just not all there.
You guys are going to be here, so.
Yeah, well, John, like I said, it was a pleasure to meet you. You know, you grew up in an era of warriors.
Yes.
And, you know, blood and guts, that's what it was all about. It wasn't for the paycheck, it was for the pride. Right. And I'm here at the Bobby Schoolboy Chacon fundraiser meet and greet here with John Montes, and thank you for this interview also.
Thank you.